everybody. Welcome back to The Pulse. So, every week it's, the news just keeps on coming with this president. And I had some thoughts, thought we were going to talk about it, but bigger stuff has come up, and so we're going to move on from it. But, so what we're going to talk about first is security clearances. That was going to be the big subject. Looks like it's an afterthought today. I am just shocked at the lack of disinformation that people are putting out there about these security clearances. They're making it all about people, former agents, whether CIA, FBI, NSA, etc., profiting off their security clearances. Most of that is on their information that they've already gleaned from their jobs. So they're out there just like anybody else from any other job, going out and making money. They're not using their current security clearance to do that. What the purpose of the current security clearance is so that the government can call in, let's just say Joe Schmo, to go into, let's say, Langley in Virginia, and maybe Joe Schmo knew all about some issue with some Iranians, and he was the point person on it, and they want to get further information, get some insight onto what Joe Schmo knows about the Iranians. That's the purpose. There is no other nefarious reason to have those security clearances out there for people. It doesn't hurt to have those clearances. There is no threat of them using them and doing illegal activity. And if there is, just like any other thing you do that's illegal, put them in jail. Indict them and put them in jail. It's that simple, but that's not what's going on. What's going on is we have a thin-skinned president who can't stand criticism and turns something into a political football, which is nothing new. Next thing I want to talk about, I'm not a big fan of Fox News. You probably know that, or could guess. And I find them to be certainly mostly a mouthpiece for President Trump. But, sometimes their lack of follow-through and paying attention to detail is a little alarming, or certainly even their knowledge of things. The amazing Aretha Franklin passed away. 18 Grammys. I mean, you could just go on to the amazing things this woman did. And as a friend of mine put it, Fox had one job to do. Only one job on that day. And that was to get her picture on Fox correct. Could they? No. They put a picture of Patti LaBelle alongside Aretha Franklin. I'm sorry, that's just unforgivable. And, it just blew me away. And of course, the internet had fun. I even put Judy Garland in picture and said Aretha Franklin on it. We have to laugh at it. But it's really a kind of disturbing thing that they can't find a picture of Aretha Franklin properly. Nobody in that network knows what she looks like. It's just disturbing. They also made a huge gaffe on Fox and Friends. They were discussing World War II and said that the government of Japan during World War II was communist. They had an emperor. They were an empire. They were capitalists with a dictatorship. So no communism there. So once again, Fox just gets it wrong. And honestly, I don't know why they put the word news after it. Next thing I want to talk about, and it really didn't make the news much, but Facebook has deleted 652 pages of people who put out disinformation in the United States. The pages originate mostly in Russia or Iran, and that's a new name that we haven't heard too much about as far as this disinformation campaign. But this falls into line with exactly what the Mueller probe is going after, and certainly what the Russia investigation has something to do with all these Russians out there hired by the government, ostensibly Putin, to go out and send us disinformation. Every once in a while I come across one and have to point it out to a friend. It's a good idea. Research things before you post it. It's really important. Now, I made mistakes myself, but I think that's a responsibility for all of us and something that everybody should consider doing before they post certainly a meme that has facts or supposed facts in it, right? Next thing I want to talk about that is not getting a lot of traction, it seems, but every day is a Trump scandal, right? This whole Catholic priest having sex with young men, young boys, I am beyond done with this whole scandal. The fact that it is still going on and there are still people hiding this is unforgivable. And I am a big fan of Pope Francis. I think he's done a lot of good things. He needs to get his shit together because these guys should go to jail. There should be a zero tolerance policy in the Catholic Church and any organization that deals with kids for sexual abuse. I'm sorry, there is no reason, no excuse. I can't think of one reason why this is still going on in 2018. And I really think people should be outraged about this. I am shocked that people aren't. I don't have kids, but my God, I was a kid. I can't imagine being put in that position. I don't think anybody should have to be put in that position. Let's follow that again. I want to bring it up again as we see how this unfolds, but it's certainly disappointing. I'm calling this Trifecta Tuesday. Big news, Manafort, Cohen, and Duncan Hunter all getting indicted or sentenced today. A lot of people don't know who Duncan Hunter is. I'm going to touch on him first. He's a congressman from California. His father, also named Duncan Hunter, had to retire due to a scandal. Well, like father, like son. And in the Republican Party, the fruit doesn't fall far from the tree, does it? Another scandal that they're wrapped up in. Glad to see he's going to be going to jail. He probably wasn't going to win his seat anyway. Democrats are making a big push against it. But glad to see that the government is going after these guys. The next guy is Paul Manafort. Ironically, that court case goes today. 8 of the charges he was found guilty of. There are 10 that are a mistrial. We're going to find out when they're going to be retrying those. He does also have another trial scheduled for September. Boy, Trump does hire the best people, right? So, beyond Paul Manafort and, of course, all of his sins, Michael Cohen is really the big linchpin. And I've got to give the guy credit. He owned up to it. If you find the transcripts of his conversation with the judge when he made his plea to the judge, it was very interesting. Very sober, very honest. And he knows that if he lies at any point going forward, he will face serious jail time for that. The biggest news that he came out with was basically implicating the president on campaign donations that were illegal due to Stormy Daniels. He had made a payment to Stormy, took out a HELOC, a home equity loan on his home, and then was repaid and then some by Trump. And I find that very interesting, and I think that Mueller is going to too. So certainly there's going to be a lot more about that. What that really brings me to, and what I really want to talk about, is this situation we have in our country where we allow white-collar criminals to just seem to skate by. Somebody had said this, I saw it on Facebook, and I thought, you know what? That is so true. Good thing the FBI is all over this Trump situation, because these guys would have gotten away with their crimes if it hadn't been brought to the special prosecutor's attention. Why is that? We have kids going to jail, prison, for years for smoking pot or selling pot. Who cares? That is harmless. They're doing it to themselves. I really couldn't care less. I don't think there's any need to put those kids in jail. If we want to get them a drug treatment plan, I'm fine with that. But we have people that are going out and committing crimes that are serious, that are illegal situations, that are making our elections unfair, taking advantage of older people. Think about the crash in 2008. That's what came to mind. And Bernie Madoff. And, well, first of all, the name Bernie Madoff, he made off with our money. How anybody would give him a penny, I don't understand. I would have been scared of his name too. But think about it. Yeah, he got caught, but what about all the other people that did all those derivatives and all those packages of the loans in the banking system? It's one of the things that I actually think that President Obama made a huge mistake by not going after them. They should have all gone to jail, every single one of them. We need to hold those that are having the most power in our country accountable. If you want to go out and gamble with people's money, then that's on you. And if you do something illegal, you need to go to jail. And it's the same that's going on now. How many other crimes are going on and we have no idea because they are rich people in some ivory tower, just like Trump or Manafort or Cohen, and they get away with murder. And I really think people should become outraged at this. This is a problem. And I think that's something, I really hope the Democrats, I hope somebody's watching this in the Democratic Party and starts to say, you know what, we better do something about this. Because it's not fair that people of color are going to jail for drugs when people that are mostly white, I must admit, that are wealthy and gambling with other people's money are not going to jail. That is a huge problem in this country. And we need to get that ship righted. Well, that's it for today. I don't have anything else. I look forward to talking to you again next Wednesday on The Pulse.